Good morning, and welcome back to Yuri Park. Excuse me, Yuri Tech. Today, I'm excited to see what's in Apple's WWDC event, or WWDC event. No wonder I keep saying dub. Note: not all I mentioned here in this video is not really accurate, since these concepts could be inaccurate, and while I'm making the script, it could be very messy because of the new reports. Beginning with iOS 15, FaceTime now supports sharing your screen. Is it a Zoom replacement? Not yet. There's now Clipboard Manager, and there will be interactive widgets. And just I hope so, or finally, split screen and for the app switcher thing. There are like 3 options. 1 is probably managing the split screen, 2, close the split screen thing you're using, and 3, close all the apps. And oh boy, you can do split screen to an app in App Switcher and send multiple media files at a time. There will be new notification settings and multiple user accounts. Outside the concept parts, there are features about the sneak peek that was published a few weeks or days ago. Oh yes, features dedicated for people with disabilities. There will be Image Explorer, which you can use this with VoiceOver. There's also this for hearing aids and audiogram support. Bidirectional hearing aids will also be supported. There will be background sounds which could help prevent get distracted by other stuff. Now next up, iPad OS.
Oh hey, we made it!
Now, before the concept, eye tracking will be available for iPadOS 15. Now, before the concept and the latest news reports, eye tracking will be available for iPadOS 15, which will detect where you are looking at. Looking at the thing for too long will automatically click or tap. And finally, there will be app library for the home screen, and finally like Big Sur. Also, a redesigned home screen, which is confirmed and support the placement of widgets everywhere. Likely an improved multitasking system which will be more easier to use. Oh yes, Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, and Xcode could be coming, as Jad Prosser said on one of his tweets. And this great home screen customization, and finally, being able to let us place apps randomly anywhere on the home screen. And the same thing, multiple user accounts to be featured just like the Mac. Where's my screensaver wishlist? There should be Time Machine also for iPadOS 15. I think this sounds like the same for previous iPad backup thing for iCloud. And macOS Big Sur like Control Center, and you can also use apps on the home screen. Now, before we move on, between these two software for iPadOS and iOS, there will be other features that include sound actions for switch control and display text settings dedicated for people who has eye problems. And also, there will be more Memoji customizations. A new report from Mark Gurman reports that iOS and iPadOS will have a new privacy protections for limiting data collection, especially with health tracking, notifications, and messaging features. And you'll be able to set a status. For an example, DND, sleeping, working, online, idle, etc. It's similar to Discord. Auto-reply will be available, and new redesigned notification center could be coming, and sadly, the redesigned lock screen has been pushed back till next year. Now, with watchOS 8. Finally, a better widgets watch face or home screen, but I prefer the older version more. And I do not know what is this for yet. And AirTag integration for watchOS 8. A redesigned control center, and what? App library and low power mode? Now where's low power mode for iPadOS? Faces for watchOS? There will be also offline Siri. And finally, built-in apps for watchOS. Oh yeah, there's also one more thing for watchOS. There will be FaceTime, which could happen, and there will be Assistive Touch for Apple Watch. Now let's move on to macOS 12. There could be either macOS Mammoth or Monterey, but it is likely for my guesses that it will be macOS Monterey and for macOS 13, macOS Mammoth. Also, reports say that it will have minor improvements. With concepts, there could be with redesigned widgets. With tvOS 15, it will just have software improvements, I think. Almost forgot to mention, HomeOS is coming to DubDub. HomeOS will be dedicated for HomePod, and the Mine app was referenced, so this could be announced too in DubDub. There are like people saying, will iMessage come to Android? Well, it's a 50-50 for me. Apple glasses will not come to DubDub as McGarwood reports. Apple will likely lift 5 gigs of RAM limit for developers since it would have been useless for the M1 iPad Pro models if the limit would not be lifted and increased up to 16 gigs of RAM. I may repeat this, but we will expect to see Safari, Health, Maps, and iMessage improvements. There could also be Apple's search engine coming to WWDC. What else? There could be a consumer level monitor that will come to WWDC. I can't predict or assume that there could be a 32-inch LCD Retina display or the OLED Retina display. The M1X 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros is coming, but was not mentioned by Mark Gurman's report. But if it comes, what to expect? Of course, a mini LED display, major redesign in terms of its body except the 16-inch MacBook Pro, maybe, a 10-core M1X processor with 4 high-efficiency cores and 6 performance cores, GPU configurations of either 16 or 32 cores, 16GB to 64GB of RAM configuration, maybe 8GB of RAM go bye-bye. I haven't heard much about storage configurations, but maybe around 512GB to 1TB storage, that is up to 8 to 10TB of storage. Touch bar will no longer exist for the next MacBook Pro models, and function keys are returning. USB-A, HDMI, SD card slot ports, and MagSafe charger is also returning. And there could be Face ID that is coming to these MacBooks, as there's been a reference in macOS Big Sur found by someone in 905 Mac. And about the shipping dates... No! Now, if you'd ask, will the M1X Mac Mini come? No reports say that it's coming or not, so 50-50? But if I were to guess, September, October, or November event. About the Mac Pro, maybe another Intel-based Mac Pro could come to DubDub. And that wraps up everything for today, so if you find this video useful, you may like and subscribe for more videos like this one. And you may follow my Twitter at LyricTechYT, and you may join in my Discord server in the link below. And with that, I will see you 12 hours after DubDub.